Johnny, is society just too complacent? Yeah, you know where it starts, Johnny, you know where it starts? The bloody schools. Schools? Yeah, the schools. At school, we're bloody taught to comply with everything, to go out at a certain time, come in at a certain time, we got to be there at a certain time, and we've got to bloody do this and do that, all to the sound of the bloody school bell.
The schooling system of most societies tends to turn humans into throngs of products suitable to bend according to the needs of the ones in power. Why do you think your teacher refused your math answers, even though your outcome was correct, but you used a method different from the one taught by them? They used the strategy of rote learning to prevent free thinking.
And by the time we've been to school for bloody 12 years, we're fucking conditioned.
However, experts emphasize the importance of deep understanding over the recalling of facts. Students who learn with meaningful learning are able to problem solve better than those who learn by rote. Conditioning a child to accept only the methods their teachers define to be correct results in adults who adapt to whatever is said by the society without questioning, for they have lost the power to imagine a possibility beyond what has been decided for them.
But Johnny, you've got to give these kids some bloody discipline. You've got to give them some structure. You've got to give them some bloody...
The culture, tradition, time, and geographical location are subjected to different conceptions of normal or abnormal. The more one can adapt to and accept the ethics and principles of one's time, the better chance he or she has of being acknowledged by society as normal. Questioning the prevailing dogmas only results in one's ostracism.
Yeah, we're conditioned to comply with everything that the authorities might put on us. We've got to do this, we've got to do that, and we just go along as a so-called nice society, but in actual fact, we're just becoming robots. Johnny, are you saying that we're just going to let things happen to us as a society without even a bloody whimper? Is that what you're saying? What about this Facebook Meta stuff, Johnny? This Zuckerberg, is he just assuming that we all want to go down that path?
Also, Meta is in the business of making dreams come true, bringing people together and creating new experiences that will usher us into a utopian future.
Let's talk about the PR talking points that he was able to broadcast regarding the extremely negative public perception of his company, Meta. Here's the San Francisco Chronicle. During the 3-hour conversation, Zuckerberg deftly evaded inconvenient facts, shifted blame, and avoided contentious issues related to Meta and big tech. Throughout the interview, Zuckerberg attempted to conceal the financial motives driving the multi-billion-dollar company by claiming Meta is instead driven by a desire to empower people to express themselves and achieve their goals. Echoing the common Silicon Valley belief in technology as the means of achieving a perfect society, Zuckerberg said he thought that life would improve thanks to the immersive technology and virtual world that Meta is developing.
Well, they've ruined the world once already. They might as well ruin the virtual
Here's a new world for us to ruin.
Literally, this is him saying what could go wrong.
But Johnny, they would have done surveys and all that sort of stuff, asking people whether they actually want this sort of stuff to happen.
The positive side of conformity is that societies can achieve social solidarity without much resistance. But just because accordance to some extent has helped develop communities in the past does not ascertain that it is thoroughly a supplement to our lives. The worth of conformity depends on the society in which we live.
Christ almighty! Seems people these days, Johnny, they just want to head down the easier road. Whatever's easier and won't affect me bloody bank balance or whatever's easier.
The definition of mental health that has been forcefully inflicted on us is not only fallacious, but also brutal for humankind in its entirety. One of the factors that makes normality so appealing to us is that to be ordinary is the most effortless way of life. Like most other biological animals, human beings too are inclined to choose the path of least obstructions. That is why we do things most people do and adapt to the mentality of the herd. The inborn tendency of human beings is to obey.
We'll just comply.
All over history, societies have condemned many people who have helped civilizations and cultures to move forward for being different.
And the government can use that sort of compliance, that conditioning, to do whatever it wants. Now, as if that's going to happen.
Like to afford people, I would say, well, you know, it takes time to accumulate data and formulate an opinion based on facts. But some people were saying vitamin D, ivermectin, exercise, healthy lifestyle right from the get-go. And those people were called COVIDiots. Let me know in the comments below how you feel now that these vindicating points are being made by the NIH, by the mainstream media. How do you feel now?
Right, yeah. Now, you might say that, of course, a good society has got to function and be compliant to some sort of degree, but you just don't. Johnny, are you being realistic with this, or is this just another load of shit?
When traditions become sick, contaminated with corruption, normality begins to apprehend, restrain, and detain evolution. It is then we start doubting whether the modern world we live in is what we desire, really.
But Johnny, that would be a whole rearranging of society. We'd have to do things in a whole different bloody manner. That's not going to happen. Oh, perhaps there's got to be a better way, Johnny. No, I don't know what the answer is. Whatever the answer is, it's a bloody big bloody fix, I can tell you. I mean, we are supposed to be running the planet, aren't we, Johnny? Right, yeah. Aren't we supposed to be trying to get the best world we can possibly get? The best lives that everyone in the whole bloody world can have? Is that what we're aiming for? Or is it just more of this bloody, the wealthy get wealthier and then we have starving people? Holy shit, have a look.
In the current times, to be normal is to give in to the influence of educational institutes that restrict liberal minds and mass-produce slaves for the government.
The world is so entrenched in the way it's going that it's going to take a major upheaval, to get things right. Johnny, are you saying that we've got to take more interest in what's going on around us? That seems an impossible task.